Apiculture means culturing or rearing of honeybees. So these are the different types of honeybees which are available in India. So this is the meaning of the word apiculture. We have rock bee in India, little bee in India, then Indian bees are the stingless bee. These are the four common type of honeybees which are present in Indian subcontinent. We will have a glimpse of these different species of honeybee. First, we will take the smaller one. That is, here you can find there is a smaller one on the name little honeybee. So this little honeybee is normally known by the name dwarf honeybee or bush bee. Scientifically, its name is Apis florea, and this is considered the most primitive honeybee species in India. And Malayalam we call it as Cherude. That is the Apis florea. So Apis florea is brownish and the basal part of the abdomen is always red. Here you can see that this is the Apis florea. So this portion, this lower or this basal portion of the abdomen will be slightly reddish in color. That is the reason why, that is the peculiarity by which we will be able to identify this species known by the name Indian and little bee or dwarf honeybee. So it is brownish, and this is the most striking character, this presence of reddish color here. And there is also another similar species, Apis and reniformis, which is darker in color, and the first abdominal segment is also totally black. So this is the second species which are similar to that. So this is the the hive of the little honeybee. Here also we can see that they are usually making in Kerala some farmers are rearing this Apis florea because their honey is having more medicinal value. That is the reason why people are rearing this Apis florea. Then the second and the one more common type of honeybee is known by the name Apis dorsata. So in this Apis dorsata, this is the species, and this is the type of species that is making very big hive. Sometimes you can find on the roof of tall buildings. Even in our college, sometimes you can see this kind of bigger nest or bigger hive. Sometimes they are also present on the branches of tall trees. So as far as the rock honeybee is considered, they are comparatively larger and more ferocious or more aggressive than other species of honeybee, and their length is nearly to 2 centimeter of length, and they are usually building their hive in exposed places far above the ground. So that is why this kind of only tall buildings or in very tall trees they will be building this kind of hive. It is an attempt to protect the hive from animals which will be feeding on honey. So that is why they are building their hives always in tall buildings, on the branches of trees or under the cliff of rocks. Sometimes below rocks we can find. Sometimes on the ceilings of the ruins. Here this is on the ceilings you can find, and also on the abandoned buildings. So it is made up of a single vertical comb, sometimes more than a meter. And see, the length of this hive will be sometimes 1 meter. So it's a very large hive they are building. So that is the peculiarity of the rock honeybee, and they are scientifically known by the name Apis dorsata. And their breeding season is March, April. During the time they will be swarming, and they will be migrating to different places in the forest looking for new nesting site. Swarming means they will be moving out of the nest. So that is the meaning of the word swarming, and that process is taking place during the March-April season. So one important feature of the rock honeybee is that They are very aggressive, and their length is around 2 centimeter or long. That is the length of the giant rock honeybee, and they are popularly known as a rock honeybee because they may be in forest. They are building their hive below below the cliffs of rocks. That is why they have this sort of peculiar feature. Then in the case of rock honeybee, they strip the place of, and one important peculiarity we have noticed about is their behavior of changing the colony, the position, the place of the colony. They will be shifting it from one area to another area. This is also a protective adaptation, and they are very aggressive, and because of that the farmers are not cultivating or rearing this type species of honeybee, and the quantity of honey produced by a rock honeybee is coming to 36 kilogram per comb per year. That is, in a hive like this will be producing 36 kilogram of honey in a year. So, and these species are the largest of the Indian honeybee species. Then we have Asiatic honeybee. Asiatic honeybee is a medium-sized honeybee. I will show you the picture here. This is the Asiatic honeybee, and scientifically known as Apis cerana indica. And they are also known as Indian honeybee or Asiatic honeybee. It is a subspecies still found wild in India, particularly in Himalayan belt, and they are usually making their nest in tree holes and crevices in the rocks. So that is the location of the honeybee nest in the case of this Asiatic honeybee. Then the species can be domesticated by farmers for honey production, as it has a gentle temperament. Temperament means not very aggressive. Their behavior is not very aggressive, and they also make their hive in a enclosed spaces where there are, so enclosed means covered outside. So that is the peculiarity of the Asiatic honeybee or Apis cerana. We have the specimen of Apis cerana indica here, and most commonly they are present in Himalayan areas where temperate fruits bloom and provide abundant source of nectar. That is a peculiarity. So that is, in the east of Himalaya, the temperature will be sometimes below 0 degrees centigrade. Even in such temperature, this Asiatic honeybee can survive. So this here you can see that they also have a, but if you look at the basal portion of the abdomen, we cannot see any red color here. The markings are there. So it is by looking at the red color we will be able to distinguish this Apis florea. Apis florea is very small with a deep red color, whereas this is rock bee or Apis dorsata is somewhat yellowish or yellowish orange in color and slightly larger also. Then come to the Asiatic honeybee or Indian honeybee. Here almost similar to Apis florea, but this reddish color may not be present. And this is a domesticated species and will be able to construct multiple parallel combs, and average honey yield is 6 to 8 kilogram per colony per year. So if you compare this the honey production of this species with the honey production of this species, there is a striking difference. Rock bee or Apis dorsata is producing 36 kilogram of honey, whereas the case of Indian honeybee, we are seeing that Asiatic honeybee or Apis cerana is only producing nearly 8 kg of honeybee, 8 kg of honey per year. So these species are larger than Apis florea, but smaller than Apis mellifera. I will also tell you, mellifera is the European honeybee species, and this is the type of species farmers are usually cultivating or rearing in Kerala and other parts of India because they produce more honey and more. They are also easy to domesticate, and they are more prone to swarming and absconding. That is, sometimes they move out of the hive or move out of their nest and may go to some other place and establish a new colony there. So this is the features of the Indian honeybee or Apis cerana indica. Then we have the European honeybee or Western honeybee. This is known by the name Apis mellifera. This is the European honeybee species that we are seeing here. So in the Apis honeybee species, Apis mellifera, we are cultivating or farmers are rearing this species because they are producing more honey. So it is because of the improved honey production or increased honey production. This apiaristic means farmers who are rearing honeybee are known as apiarists. They are rearing this European honeybee for their production. However, the species is also amenable to disease such as American foul breed, and sometimes because there is a kind of disease known as American foul brood. It's a fungal type of disease that attack the honeybee and sometimes cause a lot of damage to the hive. Then we have, this is the Apis mellifera. Then one more species is there. There is a dammer bee, sometimes known as a mosquito bee. Here you can say sometimes in the small holes of this electricity boxes, you can see small honey bee, almost the size of a mosquito, and they are known as the dammer honey bee or the stingless bee. There are two names are there. You know that if there is such a nest hive in your house, you know that they are very small. They will not attack you. So they are very small and they are not aggressive. They normally come under two genus. One is Mellipona or Trigona, scientifically known as Trigona iridipenis. They are very smaller than true honeybee, and their nest combs are irregular. Irregular means they are not producing any kind of proper comb. Just like other honeybee species, they have a definite shape. Here you can see that the shape of the honeybee colony will be like this. But in the case of this this dammer species, dammer bee, you might have noticed that they make their hive in any gap. If it is a gap of an electricity box, they will be able to produce be able to make their hive in that small gap. So stingless bees have an importance in pollination of various food crops also. So that is their important. They bite their enemies, but they are not very harmful, and it can be domesticated. But the yield of honey per hive per year is very low, only 100 grams. Earlier in this Indian honeybee, it is 8 kilogram. In case of dammer bee, it is 36. In case of dorsata, it is 36 kilogram. So here you can see that why farmers are not preferring. They produce only very little honeybee. So this honeybee is not the honeybee that we call cherudane. Cherudane means Apis florea. So this is a sometimes known as a stingless bee, sometimes mosquito bee because of size. Here you can see that. So here we have these are the details regarding the four honeybee species: dammer bee, Apis mellifera, then Apis cerana, Apis dorsata, and finally Apis florea. So this is an idea regarding the different honeybee species present in Kerala as well as in different parts of India.